Well, hey y'all, I'm Elizabeth, and in my video, I've got 5 under 5 DIYs, and they're all about some yummy strawberries. So, of course, it's strawberry season here in North Carolina. I love to go pick them and make jam out of them, and of course, some homemade strawberry ice cream. So for this first DIY, this is the paint color I wanted to show you that I'm going to be using. I just got that from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was a perfect shade for strawberries. So the first thing I wanted to do was I was going to take a sponge here, just kind of traced on here the shape of a strawberry, and I cut that out. And I'm using this awesome little black jar from the Dollar Tree, and it's actually like a chalkboard type jar, and I didn't really realize that it was a chalkboard before I decided to paint this. So this first attempt here, I'm just using the paint from the Dollar Tree, but you're going to see here it's too translucent just to use the paint from the Dollar Tree. So when you do this, I'm going to have to go back and paint over this because you can see through it too much, and I want it to look more solid. So just an FYI, if you do a DIY like this on one of these chalkboards, you need to use a chalk paint or you need to mix some baking soda. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and mix some baking soda in with this red paint from the Dollar Tree, and that way it will make it more solid so it won't look so translucent, because you look like you can see through the berries, and that's not the look that I'm going for. Now here's the berries after I went over them again with some of the baking soda and some of that red scarlet shade of Dollar Tree paint, so they look much better, and that's what I want. I want those bright, yummy strawberries that make you just want to keep grabbing them and eating them out of the jar. So I'm going to put a little top on here with some green paint. I'm just going to hand paint this on here, and then I'm going to add a couple seeds to my strawberries. And of course, the best part of picking strawberries is eating them, right? So you can eat them while you're out there picking them. And then your hands are all red too. And you have to take your little kids, they have little red faces. And then by the afternoon, everybody's tummy is hurting because you've ate way too many of them. But I'm going to take the other end of my paintbrush here. I'm just dabbing these on to make some little seeds or some little polka dots. And I just added a little raffia bow here with some that I had left over from the Dollar Tree. And this turned out great. I think this is my favorite one from the video. That bright red on that black really captures that great summertime vibe look. So let's move on to my next one. So this is the 5 under 5 DIY challenge. It's hosted by Missy from Crafty Cove and Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and their guest host this month is Charlotte from Crafting Up a Storm. Their information is all listed down in my description box along with the playlist, so check out and see what everybody's made for 5 under 5 fruity tier tray decor. So this one's kind of my little farmhousey looking DIY for this one. I wanted this one to be kind of toned down, more of a rustic type looking with this one. So this is just one of those like wooden slats from the Dollar Tree. I actually had something on the other side, so I'm going to use the back of it here. And I just took some of those little popsicle sticks, or the little wooden ones, and cut out some little strawberries. I put like little 3-layer rows, and then I took some sandpaper and just sanded down the end that I cut because it was kind of square to make it rounded. And you want to paint these first before you glue them. I painted them first with the antique wax, and then I went over top of them with just a coat of that scarlet red Dollar Tree paint. So it looks kind of, like a dark rustic red. I'm just taking my hot glue gun and just putting a really thin layer because you don't want it to be, you want it to be really flat on here. And just hot gluing these to my board. I painted the board. The background color is the plaster shade of Waverly chalk paint. And I wanted to have fun with this video and try to make strawberries in a whole new way. Maybe some ways that you've not seen some other DIYs. So these should give you some unique looks, but I think these all look great and they coordinate well together. So this one's a little bit more rustic and a little bit more dark looking since our other one was really bright. So I wanted to tone it down a little bit with this one. And the raffia I used on the other one with the bow, I'm using this again. I actually it came in a 3-pack from the Dollar Tree, and it's so funny because it was for Christmas. It had a red, a green, and then the neutral color. And I was going to use all 3 together, but then they looked a little too Christmassy when I tied them together in a bow. So for the tops of these, though, since we want these to look like a strawberry, I'm just using 1 strand of green with 2 little strands of the neutral and just tying some little bows. I'm going to hot glue these on the tops of my strawberries. And these look really cute, but I wanted to make this look a little bit more rustic looking. So again, I'm just taking some of the antique wax. I'm just going to really quickly go around the edges and go in between some of the strawberries just to make it look like it's a little bit of a weathered look. So this one was lots of fun, very unique. I hope you guys like this one. Let me know what you think about my little rustic strawberries here. If y'all are new to my channel, you can connect with us through Instagram and Facebook. And if you're new, I'd love to have you subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, I want to thank you for supporting my channel. And I have a giveaway in my last video. It's actually running through May the 6th. So you still have one more day to participate in that giveaway. So go check out that video. I'll have it linked down in my description box. So here's another fun and unique strawberry DIY that has a little bit of a rustic look. This is a Dollar Tree sign. I'm just flipping it over. I'm going to use the back. I'm using some black paint. You have to put a couple coats to cover up that metal. Then I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree twine. I put some of the paint in a sandwich bag. And here you go. I'm clothesline or hand drying here my little twine. I bet you've not seen this today in anybody's video. But I'm going to dry it here. And then we're going to use these to make some little strawberries. And I practiced this just a little bit before I actually glued it on here. So I just bended the strawberries about the size that I want it. I'm just kind of doing like a zigzag going back and forth. And then I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue down. And you just want to use just a little, the smallest amount of hot glue on your sign to glue these down with. And you want to just put a little glue down and do like a row or two and then add a little bit more glue. You can't glue the whole thing at one time, or I think the glue would harden before you get the rest of it glued down. So I'm just kind of doing a row or two, then I'm adding a little bit more glue and then doing another row or two. I have a little piece of boxwood, so I'm just pulling the leaves off of here, and I'm going to use those for my strawberry tops. I'm just going to use my hot glue gun and glue those down, and then I'm going to add a couple little twine bows and glue on top of each strawberry. And this one turned out so sweet too. I love that black background with these red strawberries. It really makes them pop out. So this is my DIY 4 and 5, and this one's really going outside the box here with some creativity. I took the same sponge that I used for painting, and I put a little hot glue down. I'm going to take some twine and wrap the strawberry up. So I'm going to do 3 of these. I'm going to do like a large, a medium, and a small. I'm just going to use my glue gun to kind of wrap some twine on here and glue a little bit. So we're going to have some nice twine strawberries, and then we're going to paint them red. And here's all 3 of them. They all 3 have the little piece of sponge underneath there. Just a little bit of wrapping and glue in there. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of that paint down in a sandwich bag. I'm going to rub that together to get these nice and covered. The main thing I really wanted to do was make sure you're not seeing a lot of that yellow from the sponge. If you have to, touch up a couple little spots or something when you get them out of the bag, you can do that real easy because you'll be able to see if it missed any of that yellow. And I took a couple other pieces of leaves that I had left over for some floral stuff that I'd used before. I just cut those down a little bit. I used my glue gun to make some little toppers for the strawberries. I took some of the twine from the Dollar Tree, put it in some green paint in a sandwich bag to color it green. And I'm going to glue a little piece of that green twine on here. So I'm going to end up gluing I'm going to tie the twine together so it looks like I have kind of like a little vine of strawberries here, like a longer one, a medium length one, and then a short one. And I wanted something to put the little strawberries out of twine in, so I'm going to just hand paint or freehand a little strawberry here on one. This is one of the little small or the tiny little flower pots from the Dollar Tree. So again, I'm just using some of that red paint from the Dollar Tree with a little bit of baking soda so it covers it really good. And I'm just going to add a little topper here, and then I'm going to put a little bit of those or a couple of those little white polka dots on here to make some little seeds. And I did use some of the green raffia. I just tied a bow around kind of the little green twine vines there and tied them together so I'd have a little bit more filling here in my flower pot. And I think these turned out really cute. I think they're a nice touch for a tier tray and give you a kind of a unique rustic look. Well, I had a lot of fun this month participating in the 5 under 5 challenge. I had a lot of fun making my strawberry DIYs. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. That really helps out my channel. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Don't forget to check out the playlist and the host channels here. You can see the little fabric strawberries are from a previous strawberry DIY video that I had last year, so I'll have that linked as well down in my description box if you want to see how I made those. I also have a couple other strawberry signs in that DIY video, so don't miss out on that. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope everybody's ready for summer. I can't wait for it to get here. Thanks again. I hope everybody has a great day.